what's up? Welcome back to Indie Games Live. We saved the best for last. Well, we can't really say that. We had
That's what
lots of
he
really,
said.
I
lots
said
of
that.
really
They're remaining
We're
neutral.
just taking him at his word.
Yeah, it's definitely
We're
true,
with
though.
Jason from Iridium Games, and you're here to talk about their Cayman Echo.
I am. That is true.
This is a really kind of unique concept for a game, so maybe give the viewers at home a little bit of background before we get into some gameplay.
Fair enough. Their Cayman Echo is a voice-controlled, squad-based, real-time strategy game. There's a lot of hyphens in there.
Yeah.
Basically, it's most similar to something like XCOM, except it's real-time. And the primary way you control your units is with your voice. Now, initially, you might be like, oh, man, voice recognition. I'm like,
that's what I was
I've
like
had some
initially.
issues with that, man. There's really no way that we can show that without really getting it into the hands of players and really letting them try it out for themselves, because you're going to be skeptical, and that's understandable. We have done an unbelievable amount of work getting this thing to work with every pitch, every gender, every type of accent. We have tons of acoustic models, not only for just English. We can go UK, Australia, Scotland, Indian, any of these accents. We can actually completely change the language. So if you're more comfortable giving commands in, say, German, you can do that and yell in extremely angry sounding
That sounds like
phrases
something I would like
to your
do.
guys.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And after all that is said and done, if you're still not into voice commands, or if your roommate is sleeping or something, we do offer traditional mouse keyboard controls as well, though I will say from the ground up it is built for voice commands, and it's a ton of fun.
Controllers are for scrubs.
I didn't say that. That was him.
I said that.
So what was the genesis of wanting to put such an emphasis on voice control?
Well, I remember I was in line for the Omegathon at PAX Prime, and I had just played some big first-person shooter of the year. Maybe it was Call of Duty, maybe it was something else, and I wanted to go down the street that looked really, really interesting. And it was, I tried to go, and there was like an invisible wall, and someone in my ear was like, no, turn around and stay on objective. And I was like, no, that sucks. Don't tell me what to do. And I was like, actually, it'd be cool if you were the dude in the ear. Because I'm not much of a fan of like the actual active first-person shooting, but I love the combat. I love the environment. I love that type of thing. So in my game, it's very strictly defined. Like, you are not one of the soldiers out on the field. You are someone far away in a command center giving orders to those four people. And during the game, we've done a lot of work on voiceover. In fact, Will Wheaton and Ashley Birch are the stars of the game.
Yeah.
They've done an amazing job.
I love those guys.
They're great.
They're awesome.
They talk back to you, so you give commands, and they just reply to you. They kind of give sass. There's a lot of sass in the game. You can see here, so this is actually one of the first levels in the game at a slightly futuristic LAX.
Nice.
'Cause I hate LAX so much that I just wanted to have a level.
This nice.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It's like 2024 or so. But I hated the airport so much, I just wanted to have a level in it where we just like blow shit up. I'm not allowed to say that.
You
but
can
beep
say
that out.
whatever the fuck you want.
Oh, nice. This is late. This is late night.
It's late
Game
night.
trailers.
Late night.
Game trailers at night. So this is one of the first voice commands. This is kind of a tutorial level. Really introduces you to how things work. It's telling you basically, hey, you can say shields up. Oh my God. Incredible.
That was good timing.
He's impressed too. I know.
Yeah, so, I mean, we are kind of giving the illusion of the actual voice commands.
Yeah, I want to point
here
that
on
out
the
right now.
screen.
This is not live, and that seems like, oh, I'm not confident in it. It's really loud in here, and it also would have been very difficult to talk to you guys and talk to the game at the same time. But worry not, it is rad. So this is Corrin. This is Will Wheaton plays Corrin here, and he's actually a bit of a pacifist in the game. He's a cryptographer. He leads an everyday life. And essentially, it's sort of similar to the opening of The Matrix, if you've ever seen that, except you're Morpheus. So you call Corrin, and you say, there are men coming for you. You need to get out of this building. And there's a chase sequence, and you like lead him left, right. You guide him out. He's very reticent, and he's not good with a gun, and he's not good with anything. And as the game goes on, he kind of overcomes that reticence and overcomes that hesitantness.
And learns to kill.
And learns to kill. It's actually a big character arc for him.
One of the things that I find that I always struggle with in the few games that I have played that have integrated voice commands is learning the very specific words to use.
Yep.
I mean, what kinds of things did you guys, make sure to put in the game to kind of help facilitate that?
Okay, so our game is defined with a limited vocabulary, so you can't just say anything in the world. Well, you kind of can. I'll get to that. Any standard thing that you might be expected to say, and we've done a ton of focus testing for this. Like, one of the things you'll do is pick which character you want your characters to fire on. You focus fire. It's a big thing in RTS in general. So the primary command that we've always used was focus fire on enemy unit 4. But that's a little hard to remember. Maybe you don't go enemy unit, you say target for. Maybe you don't say focus fire on, you just say shoot at.
Right.
We have a ton of those default like alternates in there. So for the most part, anything standard that you would expect to say in that situation will work. That said, if you don't particularly like a command, if you think hold position is too stiff, or if you think Corn's name, you're like, what is Corn? That's like some weird, stupid name. We have this system called command aliasing, where you open up the menu. I think we show that a little later in the stream. You can replace any existing soldier, command, or location in the game with literally whatever you want.
Wow.
So, you can replace Corn with GameTrailers. You can replace, you can replace open fire with fuck those dudes up.
I see where this is going.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be
There are
bad.
gonna be some really funny Let's Plays.
Yeah,
of
the
this
streamers
game.
are gonna love it. What I've done, I love singing Disney. So
Oh,
at one
man
point,
after my own heart.
I'm a big
Singing
fan.
Disney.
At one point, I memorized the first 12 commands that I kind of needed to get through this mission, and I went to the alias menu and I replaced the first 12 commands with lines from Be Prepared from
my
The Lion
gosh.
King. So to progress through the level, I basically sang Be Prepared in order, and each lyric
Dude, that's awesome.
would give a different command.
That's awesome.
And it
I can
works.
see people doing that. Like, we should make that a challenge. Like, sing the entire game.
Right, you have to. Right, and it's like a musical performance.
Does the game does it get screwed up? Because I can see if I was playing this, I'm definitely gonna start being like, shit, shoot six, shoot six, shoot the guy. Does it if
So-
you're yelling at the game, or do you have to remain cool?
All right, so yelling, from an audio perspective is bad because it clips
Right,
off the
clips
audio.
it.
So it's actually, and we emphasize this throughout the game. You want to remain calm and you want to speak clearly. If you stutter, if you shoot target 5, it might work if you're lucky,
Right.
but it probably won't. And it's actually a skill, and it's not a skill that many video games require players learn.
Right.
Speaking calmly under pressure, even if there's a lot of stuff happening on screen, being clear with your voice. Again, the voice recognition system is very, very accurate, but you got to learn to work with it.
You have a lot of confidence in it if you're letting people change all the commands. 'Cause
Yeah.
It seems like it'd be the easiest thing to only allow 20 commands.
Oh no, we're very confident.
Yeah.
It's not on stream, but we're over there, and a bunch of people are playing it.
Yeah.
I want to make a quick note here. So this is a really cool mission. We've kind of made it a tower defense type mission in the middle of this game. Because one of the things I really wanted to do, I'm like, if you can use voice commands, you should totally be able to voice detonate mines.
Ah.
Oh,
So
awesome.
still a temporary graphic on the mines in this video. But, so you can say detonate mines 5 and 11, and they're going to go off as soldiers are running in to try and
that's
breach.
cool.
You can also direct turrets. You can see these kind of lanes here that are fading in and out. That's essentially turrets focusing on these lanes. And you switch lanes with the turrets, you detonate mines when they get too close, you have to manage your resources. It's not necessarily the primary mode of the game. Most of them are just more general combat, but this is a way, kind of halfway through the game, it's a really interesting way to kind of break it up. It's a really cool level.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you did a lot of focus testing.
A lot.
What were some of the kind of funny moments you guys experienced during focus testing? Just curious. I'm sure people had a lot of really weird stuff they were blurting out, right?
One guy attempted, so we showed it off at PAX East for the first time. And when people learn that they can put profanity in the game, they get excited. And and I'm all for open fucking fire as opposed to open fire. That's cool, right? But he went and we stopped allowing. Well, maybe we should just allow it anyway. He replaced fire with just fuck. That was it. I was like, well, that'll still work. But then he replaced shields up with fuck and shields down. Every command in the game, he just made that. And he spent time doing this because you type in the commands. And after about 10 minutes, he was ready. Every name, every command, it was literally just that. And I didn't know how it would react because I'd never tested that.
Yeah.
So then he gave the command, and the game went haywire. Every command was executed at the same time, and it just went insane.
They all actually happened though?
Yeah, it all occurred, but some of them are conflicting because shields up and shields
Right,
down are
right,
conflicting,
right.
and hold your fire on open fire are conflicting, and the game just.
But that's sort of interesting. You could do that strategically where, I don't know when this would ever make sense, but you could do a strategic thing where one command does two things.
It's possible.
I have no idea why.
Yeah, well, someone will find a use for it.
Yeah.
One thing we also do, so the timing for voice commands can be a little tricky. If you want to do 2 commands consecutively in, on a standard controller-based game, there's not going to be much of a delay. Click here, click there, you're done.
Right.
But if you have to issue a full voice command, it's a little slower. It might take a second or two. So we've also implemented in military fashion an on my mark system. So you can queue up any number of commands, move to Alpha 4 on my mark, still switch to sniper rifle on my mark, open fire on my mark, and then when you say mark, all commands are executed simultaneously.
Oh, that's cool.
You can even
Nice.
vary it up. We have, there's mark, and then there's mark 2, mark 3, mark 4. So you can say do this, do this, do this on mark 3, do this, do this, do this on mark 4. They're kind of like macros in a way.
Yeah.
So that's a really nice way to, one, make it feel like a little more military themed.
How did you make it, because the command is still shoot target 6 on my marks at the end.
At the end.
How do they not already do it before you say on my mark?
Magic.
Magic.
Magic. So if you want to get into technical details of it, there's something called the silence timeout, which is the amount of time at the end of a command that has to expire before the game says that command is done.
Okay.
Go. So the silence timeout is about half a second or so. So if you say nothing for, well, it's a little less actually. It's like 0.3 of a second. You say nothing for 0.3 of a second, the command is executed. But in general speech, if you just say shields up on my mark, that's less than 0.3 seconds. It won't execute the command until all of it's done. And then if it sees on my mark, it says don't do it yet. Wait for the mark.
There's something I wanted to tell you.
What?
Not related to anything.
I'm very handsome.
I think I mentioned this
to
to Ash one time, but have you heard of a movie called Earth to Echo? Because
I-
they totally ripped off your font.
I know. So
One of
this.
the ads
Get
is
this.
like your logo.
Yeah, no, I know.
It freaked me out.
They learned that. I have a friend who actually knew some of the people that were working on that game, and they altered it. So if you search Earth to Echo in Google Images, you can see the old logo before they changed it, and it looks exactly like
It was
mine.
exactly
Yeah,
yours.
it's like exactly the same. It was super awkward.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and then like I've gotten a lot of people, and they'll be like, I tell them about the game, and they're like, oh, like that movie with the robot, and I'm like, nah, man.
Because I remember I saw it in a standee, and then I tried to Google it later to tweet about it, but then the logo was different.
I know.
So
and I was
like, well,
totally
they fixed
first.
it.
We had that logo in
Yeah.
February 2013, man. I don't know. It's cool.
You did it.
It's cool.
You've inspired Disney or whoever that is.
So on the stream right now, we have the War Room. So the game is very narrative focused. I do want to point that out. Like it's tons of cutscenes. My
Yep,
thing can't
we
hear
lost
myself.
our audio.
Lost our audio.
We lost
Whatever.
our audio.
I'm talking anyway.
Oh,
there we go.
are.
It's back.
Thanks.
Okay.
Tons of cutscenes, tons of narrative. It's very, I really attempted to form an emotional connection with the soldiers. They're not like generic dudes like in maybe XCOM or End War.
I loved my guys in XCOM.
Yeah, I mean, you can you project your personalities onto them, which you can do.
Socks.
Right, exactly.
I miss him.
Yes. Brave soldier. Socks. Hold one up pour one out for him.
Sorry.
Well, we are having to wrap out here pretty soon, but I mean, this game looks really, really interesting, and I'm definitely excited to try it out and really see if you could put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, you
Literally.
sold me on it. 'Cause
Literally.
At first, I literally was like, voice commands. Come on.
I wouldn't be I feel very confident about it.
You're a
I wouldn't
great pitchman.
I wouldn't be pushing the voice recognition if I didn't think it was good. I'd just be like, whatever, we're switching it to mouse and keyboard. But essentially, reviews are going to come out, and I'm very confident they're going to be like, this works super well.
When are those reviews coming out?
So great question. We're releasing on Steam on the PC in early to mid-February. We don't have a specific release date yet, but we're going to be around then. And then in the following months, maybe May or June, we're going to be porting to a bunch of platforms: PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Mac, and Linux. The whole deal. We're in Unity, so it shouldn't be too rough to port. And you'll be able to get your hands on it then, and it's going to be $14.99, I think.
Fair enough.
Probably $14.99.
Fair enough.
Around there.
Still talking to Valve about
generally.
that. Around there. It'll be good. It'll be great. And also, I do want to get one quick mention of our soundtrack. If you guys are fans of Ronald Jenkins or Big Giant Circles, a.k.a. Jimmy Henson, the soundtrack on this game is magnificent.
rad.
It is lovely. And we're going to be selling the soundtrack as well on Steam. It's really, really amazing. 24 tracks of glory.
Awesome. Well, where can they find more information if they want to go learn about it tonight?
They can do one of three things. They can head to our website, www.playiridium.com, or for more frequent updates, you can check out our Twitter or Facebook at Iridium Studios or facebook.com/Iridium Studios. Check it out. Follow us. We're coming out soon, and I am really excited to do so.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and being such an energetic guest at the end of the stream.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Gotta finish strong.
Exactly. And we want to thank all of you out there for tuning in with us here at Indie Games Live. A big thank you to our partners, Gung Ho Media and Yummy Yummy Tummy. We will be highlighting all of the clips that we showed you guys here tonight. You can head to GameTrailers.com and get all of the details on all of the great indie developers that we talked to and find out how you can buy their games, how you can play them, how you can get in on early access, whatever stage of development they're in. I do want to read a tweet that we got from @SabReality. She's great. I love her. She says, Indie Games Live has been great. Lots of games have been shown that I can't wait to try. And we've had quite a really diverse lineup of games.
Yeah.
that
You're
have been
great, too.
tonight.
All of you are great.
Yeah,
You're the
we
best.
love you guys.
You want to come host things with us sometime?
I'm down. Let's do it.
The headset suits you.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
forget
good.
to follow our Twitch channel. Hopefully, if you're watching, you've already clicked that follow button. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight, guys. And that's it. We're done. Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.